Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're going to be making the final card in our series of aperture cards, and this time we're going to be making a layered shaker card. And today we're going to be making a 6x4 card. Now I'm going to be using bits and pieces that I've already got in my stash, but if I can move this without knocking everything over, I'm also going to be using a few elements of Papercraft Society Box number 56, yes 56, and this has been designed by the amazing Sam Calcott. Now I'm going to be using mine in combination with some of my papers that I've already got in my stash, and this was a 6x6 pack of pattern paper from the Works. So that's the Works store in the UK, and of course there's an online. So we're going to use this pattern paper and the pattern papers and elements that I'm going to be using from Papercraft Society Box 56 work really well together. Well, I like the way they work together anyway. So that's what we're going to do. So I've already put my paper on there. I'm going to slide that to one side because the next thing I'm going to use this gingham pattern, came in the pack, but you can use any, if you haven't got this box, you can use any paper you like. You don't have to use this. And again, this is 6x4. And I've also put a piece of 6x4 acetate into here, like that. And I've used some double-sided tape to stick it down. And around the outside, I have got two layers. If I put that, hopefully if I put that like that to the camera, you can see it. We have got two layers of foam pads. Now I've put that round to spare you watching me do that, because that took quite some time to do. And I'm sure you don't want to watch me doing that. So I've put that round there like that. Now, for our shaker element, also in this box, I have to show you this. It's absolutely delightful. So I'll just take some out. In the pack, in the embellishments pack, we had these gorgeous little pieces of tiny slices or pieces of fruit. And you've got an orange, you've got a watermelon, you've got what looks like a cantaloupe. There's all sorts of things in there, but they're tiny. It's difficult to show you how tiny they are, but they really are tiny. So we are going to use those. Well, maybe not all of them, because there are loads in the box. But we are going to use those in as our shaker elements. Now, if you're not a member of Papercraft Society, but you're interested in this box, now, I haven't been a member for some time. I recently resubscribed on the strength of this box because I love Sam Calcott's work. And they used to have surplus boxes after the subscription boxes had gone out. So if you're interested in this box, I will link Papercraft Society below, and then you can check it out for yourself. So I'm going to put some of these, the ones I've got in my hand, I'm going to put in straight away because I'll never get them back in the packet. So they came in an envelope. Now the envelope did not look all tatty and torn like this. It was beautiful until I got hold of it, that was. So we're going to put some in, quite a few. Do you know what? I'll probably put most of them in. So let's have a look and see what that's going to look like once they're all spread out. I might just throw caution to the wind and put the whole lot on. Oh, let's go for it, because I doubt if I'll be using them on anything else, because they're so tiny that you lose them, or I would anyway. So we're going to chuck the whole lot in. Why not? And then now don't do what I did the first time I tried this. When I first made shaker cards for the first time, I picked that up and tried to put it on the base, and of course everything went everywhere. So don't do that. We're going to put this directly to our card base. Now this is our card base. I've used that paper and just glued it. I've just used a glue stick, and this is just to an ordinary piece of white card. And we're going to lay that down like that, line it up directly over the shaker box. We're going to be really daring. Usually I would make the shaker box first. I'd never do it like this. But I thought, well, why not? Let's go for it. So we're going to do that. Turn it over. And already you've got a really fun shaker card. And I may have put too many in, but I don't care. I like it. So there we go. There's the shaker element all done. So before I get too carried away and carry on playing with that. Oh, incidentally, I'm only going to do 2 layers this time, and the measurement to the smallest aperture is 3 3/4 by 3 inches, and obviously I've used an oval, but you can use whatever you've got. You can use whatever shapes you've got. Now, what I've done with mine when I was playing and designing layered cards, especially layered aperture cards, what I did, I cut some card templates and I chose the apertures or the dies that I wanted, and I cut them out and I did it like that. So when you layer them up, you'll have your smallest one, then you lay, in this case it's a 3 layer, and once you lay them, oops, that was the wrong way around, well done Dawn. So I've even labelled them and I still got it wrong. So when you layer it, if you make your templates, it layers beautifully. So that's what I've done, but you don't have to do that. But I think I'm probably going to be making quite a few more layered aperture cards, and I thought that would just save a bit of time. And I've done the same with my circular ones into a square card. So there are our shaker elements with all those gorgeous pieces of fruit, absolutely gorgeous. And we have another card, and I've used the same pattern paper as the base, not that you can see much of it. And the largest aperture measures 4.5 by 3.5 inches. And all of these measurements will be below in the description box. So I'm just going to turn that over, and I've got a single layer of foam pads this time. And I'm not going to bother putting glue on it or anything like that. We're just going to lay it straight down. And if there's a little bit of the gingham poking out to the side, you know what, that's fine by me. I'm happy with that. I can live with that because I like it. So I'm just going to put that over there so that what's left doesn't creep out all over the place. Now again, in this box, gorgeous box this was, the Papercraft Society, we had elements galore. We had an ephemera pack, and it's more to do with food and picnics. So what I'm going to do, I've got some of my elements, or the elements, and instead of, I've seen a lot of these other videos that other people do, and I appreciate everybody's got their own style, but what they were doing, I'll pop it onto high speed, and they went, and they put all their stuff really quickly, and you couldn't see the thought process as to how they arranged the front. And I'm nosy, I like to see how people do things. I like to see how people arrange and how they come to their decisions as to where they're going to put things and how they're going to put things. So we're going to do this in real time. That's no criticism. If that's how you're comfortable doing it, fine. But I prefer to do it this way, but that's just me. So I'm going to use some glue stick. And this is, I suppose you call it a blanket or a tablecloth or a napkin or whatever. Well, I don't think it's a napkin, but I'm going to put mine there because it could be a blanket. Let's call it a blanket, shall we? I'm going to put mine there, and that's going to be the basis for our front. Now I've got some other elements here. We've got a bottle of drink, and on the back of these, just to save a bit of time, I've already put some double-sided tape. So we're going to stick these straight down, and all I'm going to do is decide at what angle and where they're going to go. So we're going to do that, and I want some height the other side. Now somewhere I had, oh there we go, there's a piece of ephemera with some bread, a bread stick, one of these baguette styles, so that gives it a bit of height either end, so I like that. So we have got the most gorgeous watermelon. Do you know what, I'm going to put that side because I don't want the colours to, similar colours to be overlapping. So this side we've got a banana, so I think I'll put the banana there. So I've got a few more bits and pieces to do. I've got a lovely bunch of grapes here, or an image. I think we'll put that slightly lower down, put that there, and in the middle we have got the most gorgeous little pair of strawberries. I rather like that. And just to finish it off, I wanted to put something at the top, and we had some foliage ephemera, and again I've just got some tape, or some double-sided tape on the back, which I'm going to stick down. You can use glue if you want to, but I just thought I'd use tape to make it a bit quicker. And there was one thing I just could not do without. Again in the ephemera pack, I've got glue all over my fingers. There's this tiny little ladybird that is so cute. I can't not use that. But because it's only small, I'm going to put that on the blanket, and I'm going to use a bit of glue. So we're going to pop that on there like that, and because it's glue, especially glue stick, it will dry clear. So, and of course if you use glue you can slide it about till you're happy with the position, and I think I like that. Now, there's just one thing I'm going to do, and this wasn't from the pack. I was raiding my stash, because we quite often make our cards and they're beautiful on the outside, but sometimes we forget to do we forget to think about the inside. So in my stash, again, I found another piece of this paper. Actually, this was just an offcut from this bit, the top bit here. And this happy birthday I just found in my stash. It was rather large, actually. It was quite fancy. It had lots of flowers around it. So I just cut it down to size. And again, I'm just going to pop it inside. I'm going to use, once again, I'm going to use some glue, my trusty glue stick. And this time we're going to put quite a lot on. So just smother it with glue. You can use whatever adhesive you usually use, or whatever you're happy with. And I'm going to pop that inside there, so the card will look beautiful inside and out. So once you've done that, now normally I would suggest, especially if you're using glue, before you close your card, give that a minute to dry, but we haven't got time to give it a minute to dry, so I'm going to go with it. So there we go, there is our shaker card. You've still got all these bits of fruit bursting out from behind there, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the bits of gingham. And on the inside, you have a beautiful sentiment. Happy birthday. And I'm going to save that till later on in the year, because I know someone who would love this card. So there you go. There is our final card in our series of aperture cards. So I'm going to pop back tomorrow. And tomorrow I am going to show you my new die cutting machine and embossing. Well, it's one die cutting and embossing machine. My old one, if you didn't catch my video yesterday, I was saying that my old one finally gave up the ghost after 10 years of being well loved and much used. So it was time to treat myself to a new one. And the machine and this box, they were both delivered by the same company. In fact, they came from the same company, and so obviously it was the same courier. And they both came in the same delivery. So I had great fun with that. So tomorrow I'll show you my new machine, and I'll show you how obviously, like all machines, they give you guides as to what sandwiches to use. Some I found particularly helpful, some perhaps weren't quite so helpful, but I've been having a good play, having a lot of fun, and I'll show you the two ways that I've come up with. One is for die cutting and one is for using with an embossing folder, and I'll show you the ways that for me work best for die cutting and the one for embossing. So that'll be tomorrow. So I hope you can come and join me for that. And then I'll reveal what brand I've got, and I'll link where I got it from, obviously. So there we go. So that's our video for today. Our gorgeous layered shaker card. Isn't that absolutely adorable? I love it. I've got someone in mind to send this to, but you know what? I'm so in love with it, I might keep it and do another one for that person. So there we go. That's it for today. I'm going to stop rambling now and let you go. And I shall see you tomorrow. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this card and indeed the series. And if you have and you're not a subscriber yet, I'd really, really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. It's totally free, it doesn't cost anything. And if you've enjoyed this particular video, do give me a thumbs up, I'd love that too. And add any comments you'd like to below, that would be fantastic. And I'll see you tomorrow with my new my new die cutting machine. Well, same thing really. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.